Christina Perez. Tanya Carson is suing her ex-girlfriend Marie Dell in the amount of $2,500 for the cost of home repairs Ms. Carson performed that she says Ms. Dell owes for.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Christina Perez presiding. Please be seated. All parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you, Renard. Ms. Carson, you did some work for the defendant, is that correct?
Correct.
And you did not get paid for it?
Correct.
That's why we are here today.
Yes.
What kind of work did you do for her?
I rewired her house, we spackled her walls, we grouted her tile, a lot of just work around the house. Because her house was completely trashed. I walk in and the ceiling fan is completely ripped out.
Okay, so then let's go back in detail to see what you did. So you rewired all of the house or part of the house?
Just the parts that needed it. I mean, pretty much I walk in and all of the sockets are ripped out of the holes in the walls. And so I go in and I fix all of that.
Okay, what else did you do?
When I rewired the fan, I go up there, and when I originally met her in the hardware store, I helped her pick out the fan, and we went back to her house, and when I was installing it, there was a wire that was missing, and so it was completely trashed, like so much worse than what I had originally suspected, so I had to stay there for a while and actually do a lot of work to rewire the fan.
Okay. And so then you rewired the fan. What else did you say you did?
I respackled the walls and just fixed
all of the walls or some of the walls?
Just all of the walls with the holes in it, because she told me that her husband went through and it was like a tornado. He just smashed everything.
Okay, so the walls, and then about how many walls do you think?
Oh my God, at least 10. And the whole house.
So then I understand you two did not have a written contract, is that correct?
Correct. But I did mention in the beginning that I needed some compensation for something.
You rewired a house, you rewired the fan, you respackled some of the walls according to yourself, you fixed the carpet, you regrouted the tile in the bathroom, and you fixed some plumbing. That's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work. But over the period of time that I was doing all of that work, a relationship had developed between us.
What do you mean a relationship?
As in an intimate relationship. She would take me out to dinner instead of like giving me actual pay. She would pay me back with the little things. She'd take me out to dinner, she would take me out to movies and various things.
So did you accept that as part of the payment?
Yes.
Yes? You say yes? Okay, why don't you tell me the agreement that you guys had?
She offered some advice, and I took it. I told her my story about how I'd just been in a divorce. My ex-husband had completely rinsed me through it, and in the process of not getting the house, came through with some of his friends and destroyed the place for revenge. She felt bad for me, and she offered to help. I told her I didn't have any money. She knew I didn't have any money. She said, okay, I'll come and do it just pay me for supplies.
What was she going to come and do just for supplies? Rewire the fan, put the fan in?
Yeah, she was just going to...
Okay, so that was a freebie.
Yeah, that.
Okay. All right,
but
so
when
the fan was a freebie. What about the rewiring of the house? What about the respackling of the walls? What about the carpet, regrouting the tile, and the plumbing? How was that a freebie?
She never asked me for any more money. It was simply on the same line of the agreement for the fan. It was just for supplies.
Coming up on Justice for All with Judge Christina Perez.
Miss Dell, it's very clear you used her, and you're a very smart girl. To me, it's obvious you used her, and you knew exactly what you were doing. And the moment you got everything you needed from her, you just dropped her and said, hey, it was all good.
And later,
we go up into the attic to start doing some of the...
Hose system free. Just pay separate processing and handling. That's 2 flexible hoses and 2 7-way adjustable spray nozzles, a $40 value, all for only $19.95.
You're watching Justice Central. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Christina Perez. We're back with the case of Tanya Carson who is suing her ex-girlfriend Marie Dell for the cost of home repairs.
I understand that the moment you finished the house, you guys were no longer friends? That's what you said in your statement?
The moment I finished her house, and this is after I completely re-renovated her bathroom before her mother came.
Did she ask you to, or did you do that?
Yes, she did ask me to.
No, she offered because she knew my mother was coming into town.
Okay. It's interesting how you guys didn't mention the relationship in the statement. Okay, so you completely re-renovated the bathroom and she didn't ask you to do it?
No, she did ask me to do it. She said my mother is coming in a few weeks, and I was wondering if you could re-renovate the bathroom.
How much do you think truly all of the work that you did is worth? Because you're only suing for $2,500.
Yeah, I am only suing for $2,500, and that's pretty much just the re-renovation of the bathroom. For all of the work that I was doing, and especially with the huge discount I was giving her, with everything, it would probably be near about $10,000.
We did not have a business agreement. It wasn't like that. It was for love at the time, and so that's all it is.
What happened after you redid the bathroom?
Her mother was moving in. She wasn't out with her mother. Her mother didn't know her relationship status with us. So she asked me to stay out of the house for a couple of weeks. And I was okay with that because I knew her situation. I knew what she was going through, and I was just like, okay, you're not ready to tell your mother yet about us, and I'm okay.
Were you living at the house?
Yes. She was spending more than half of the week at the house. She would stay late fixing things and say, oh, you know, she didn't seem to mind fixing because it seemed like an excuse for her to spend more time around me.
So you would just spend the night at the house where? Like in the next
We were
room
in a
downstairs?
relationship.
Okay.
Is the thing. We were in a relationship, an intimate relationship. So when I would get home from work and I would stay late fixing whatever she wanted me to get fixed.
Do you have a key to the house?
I do have a key to the house.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so what happened? How did you end up suing her, and how did you end up not living there anymore?
Well, when she asked me to move out when her mother came, I stayed in my apartment for a few weeks, and I had left some of my stuff at her place, and I kept calling, and I was just like, I would really like to come pick up my stuff. And she completely was nonchalant, never got back to me about anything. And I'm like, well, I really need to pick up my stuff. Eventually, I finally got a hold of her, and I was just like, is your mother still there? Can I come pick up my stuff? And she said, no, my mother isn't here. You can come pick up your stuff. It'll be in the garage. You can pick it up when me and my mother go out to dinner. And I was just like, a little frustrated, but I was okay with that. And then I go pick up my stuff, and then I make a copy of the letter that she gave me, and I slip it under the door. And I was just all like, not as resent or anything. I didn't have any resent for her. It's just all like I wanted her to remember what we had, what our relationship was, and where we were going, because she
dropped you the moment her mother came and everything was done at the house?
Dropped me the moment her mother came.
I, from the beginning, was not comfortable telling my family about us having a real romantic relationship. So when my mom said she's coming to town, I said, hey, you know, would you mind staying at your place for a few weeks, because I'm not comfortable with this dynamic.
But I understand that you completely broke it off, right? So that's what she's saying?
But still, after my mom had come and I've been exposed through the letter, yeah, some time went by, and I still didn't want to be with her, even after my mother left. And I told her I wanted space, and I was very confused after my divorce.
But she never got back to me. She never returned any of my phone calls.
Okay.
It became harassment. I asked for space, and she did not respect it. She continued. She came to work. She's calling me. She's doing all these kind of very aggressive, forward things. And when I said, I don't want to do this, now that's not really going to make me want to be more in a relationship.
Well, it's very convenient when you were okay with it when she was fixing your house, and after she's done with the house, then you're not okay with it.
I just had time to think when she was away and I was with my mom.
You had time to think the 6 months she was fixing your house too, but I know exactly what you're thinking. Hey, I'm getting this done for free. So it's very clear you used her.
But she doesn't ask me for money when it was there, and it wasn't about that.
Well, Miss Dell, it's very clear you used her, and you're a very smart girl. To me, it's obvious you used her, and you knew exactly what you were doing. And the moment you got everything you needed from her, you just dropped her and said, hey, it was all a gift. And that is your fault, because you should not have been so dumb. to get yourself completely manipulated and completely wrapped up with somebody who was completely using you. And that's exactly what she did. So, regrettably, I have to deny your case because I find no basis to say that there was a contract where she agreed to pay you for the services that you did in her house. I am so sorry, but there's nothing I can do. Next time, be smarter about who you fix things for, have a contract, and who you date. Okay? Good luck.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
Like I should have gotten some compensation for something.
It was a gift. You were doing it for kindness. That was your compensation.
Yeah, and I get screwed over by you.
And later,
We go up into the attic to